Are you ready for some late night lunkers? Stick around. Hey fishing friends, sun's just about down. Time to go out after some midnight hogs. And boy is it gorgeous out here tonight. This is what I waited all winter for. Let's hope we get some tonight. A lot of times when you have these islands, there's a grass bed that forms around the perimeter of them. And that's a beautiful thing because you cast right up onto the island, right up into the rocks and right up into the bushes, and then drag it out. And a lot of times those fish, those big fish, are sitting in wait in that grass bed. I'm throwing a 3/4 ounce chatterbait with a big old boot tail trailer. A lot of action and a lot of weight to it. Probably weighs well over an ounce. Something the fish could really suck into their mouth and grab a good hook set. And you'll see some real small fish grab this as well. Probably some fish not much bigger than the lure itself. When you fish a chatterbait, it's got that blade, it's a bladed jig, and you just want to fish it at a speed, at a retrieve rate, that you feel that thumping back and forth. And that, my friends, is a nighttime bait that just produces and produces. Whoa, yeah! Oh, see that? This is one of those small ones that just exploded. He's a good 2-pounder. Well, maybe 1 3/4 pounds. He just exploded on that chatterbait. Bashed it. I don't know if you saw my rod bend on that, but boy, he hit that with a purpose. And that's why we're out here tonight. And that's why we're throwing this chatterbait. Whew, I love that. Oh my gosh. Boy, he beat that thing up. Tell you what, I would not want to be a little fish swimming around at night. Another thing I like about chatterbaits is you can run them veritably weedless. But I throw into the weeds anyway because that's where the fish are. So when you feel that hit of a weed, I tend to pause it and then try to shake it loose, and then very frequently right after that weed hit, then you'll get the fish hit because you run it through the weeds intentionally, hoping to spark a strike from one of those big Larrys sitting in the grass beds. Now a lot of people I've fished with tend to see weeds and they cast in the other direction. I cast into them. Where there's grass, there's bass. And there's another one, same location. Same location. Not a bad fish. Look at that. Look at that. Nice and healthy. That's not the fish we're after though. We're gonna see those. Only by the looks of it, I'm not going to have to put this chatterbait down tonight. You know, sometimes you go out with a strategy in mind and a lure in mind and a plan in mind. It doesn't work out and you have to change up. You have to change up again. You have to change up 2, 3, 4 times. Other times the plan just comes together. This just feels really good tonight. So let's see if that teaches us anything there, if they're on the islands and the rocks tonight. They sure are. Oh my goodness. Here's another one. Little guy. Now, one thing I should talk about while we're out here night fishing, and that's safety. I'm very safety conscious. I highly discourage going out at night on a body of water that you are not intimately familiar with. Especially if you're like me and you're by yourself. I'm out on this body of water, but I know it like the back of my hand. I know where every rock and stump and tree and shallow area is. If you don't know that, that can spell problems. I never fish on a body of water until I have fished it several times during daylight hours, so I know the lay of the land. And I also try to remember to tell my wife where I'm going. But only my wife, because I don't give up my spots. Now, to illustrate what I was saying about safety, I'm going in an area over here where I know there are some big rocks that come virtually up to the surface of the water. And I may hit them even though I know they're there, but I'll be expecting it. And since I'm under trolling motor, it's not like I'm going to hit them fast. I'll bump up against them. But the point being, if you didn't know that and you didn't expect it, and you bumped into it unexpectedly, it could throw you off balance, throw you into the water. So I very well may hit a couple of these rocks that are in the water over here, but it's not going to do any damage, and I'm not going swimming. This is all loose and coming off. It's because all those bass I caught beat it up pretty good. So she's all done. So put on a trailer. All we do is go through the nose of it and come out the back at a length that allows it to fit properly on the lure. There we go. And this one has been killing them tonight, so we're gonna stay with it. I don't know. Sometimes they hit something, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they hit everything, sometimes they only hit certain things. Tonight, they're hitting this, and they're hitting it hard. I'm too far away from this island. I can't get it close enough. I can't stress enough that you gotta get right up on whatever you're throwing at, because those big bass will tuck themselves up against the rocks and under the bushes to ambush their prey as they go by. So there's no such thing as getting too close to shore. Anybody who's been fishing for any length of time will tell you, well, probably almost anybody will tell you, some of the biggest fish they've ever caught were in a few inches of water. Wow. Choked it down. Beauty. Every fish that I've hit has hit like a ton of bricks. I think I've gone probably about 20 minutes without a fish, which is the longest drought of the night, really. That's a good problem to have. Now, the way they're hitting tonight, I'll have to go a solid hour or more without a hit before I change from this chatterbait. So it could just be a lull in the feeding, or it could just be there's no fish where I'm casting. A very wise man once said, you can't catch fish where they ain't. Hard to argue with that logic. I tell you, One of the good things about not getting a bite for a while, when that silence gets broken by a giant, it's a beautiful thing. Not a giant, but he'll do. There's one. And she's not small. She's not huge. Nice. Nice. Not quite big enough for us to throw in the box. But he was right where I expected him to be. I like that. And that was one of those ones where he followed it out quite a ways from the shore. When it hit the water near the shore, it probably got his attention. And he chased it out, and he only hit me about 10 feet from the boat. And he wasn't too happy about it. Now I'm about 50 feet from where I know there's some big rocks in the water that I'm going to hit with my trolling motor. So I'm going to try not to hit them. Alright. Now I'm looking at the target that I came over here for. There's a big giant rock. Let's see if there's somebody there. This rock's big enough. I'm going to give it about 6 or 7 casts. And I'm telling you, I can't see any reason why there's not going to be a Walter sitting on this rock tonight. In fact, I'll be quite surprised if there's not. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah, he followed that all the way out to the boat. All the way out to the boat. Oh, and they are just smoking this chatterbait tonight. They are just smoking it. That's not the fish we're after. Alright, we've been out here a while now. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning. We ripped it up in the beginning. And it's been probably a solid hour since I caught a fish, maybe a little more. Which isn't unusual at all. You know, come 3 o'clock or especially 4 o'clock when the sky starts turning purple and gets ready for sunrise, then the bite will be back on. But I'm feeling pretty good tonight. I've got no intention of going home. It's too beautiful out here. So I think I'm going to take a ride across the pond completely to the other side, which will take a little while. And maybe that'll give these bass some time to wake up from whatever nap they're taking. And we'll light them up on the other side. Let's go. Nice, there's always a hungry fish somewhere. That's my first fish in about an hour and a half. There's always somebody wants to eat. The sky's changing color. That means the sun's thinking about coming up. We've been here all night. We got some really good fish. A lot of fish. More quantity than quality tonight. But I ain't done yet. And the night ain't over. I ain't heard no bell. Alright. That's why I keep losing fish. Son of a gun. I just lost about my fourth big fish. And like a moron, I didn't figure out why. My hook was bent up. Unbelievable. That was another good fish. So sometimes after you throw them into trees and you get them caught on rocks and stuff, after pulling on them a little bit to try to get them out, your hook is bent. And it's no big deal, you just gotta bend it back. But you gotta have the foresight to do that. Clearly I did not. And I have paid the price with several lost fish, and I should have figured that out 3 fish ago. So it's about 3:15 in the morning. I am in a big open inlet on this pond, and it fluctuates between about 2 and 4 feet deep. A lot of pads around, a lot of open water. And based on that time of day and the depth and the open areas between the pads, I tied on a pompadour from Jackal. Topwater, walks along the water with these wings, and it's another money lure. Fun, huge blow-ups. Comes in a full size and a junior size. This is a full size, and we're gonna see if we can get a full size bass. Yep. Yep. Stay on. Stay on. All right, not huge, but we'll take them. Love a good pompadour hit. Goodbye. That was about a 2-pounder. Oh, love these blow-ups on pompadours. Good fish. It's a good fish. Get in my net. Get in my net. Told you I wasn't leaving before I hit a 5. Yes, sir. That's gonna go, well, maybe just under. Oh yeah, I've been waiting all night for that. Doesn't get any better than this. No, sir. I wish dawn could last for 4 hours. Somebody wanted breakfast. Now we made it through the night. Absolutely gorgeous night. Really good night of fishing. I lost count, but I'm pretty sure I put about 25 in the boat. be a donkey. That's a good fish. Oh yeah. Okay. Whew. Oh yeah. Wow, did he smoke that? Holy Toledo. He hit that thing so hard, I can't get it out without pliers. That's a donkey. About 4 pounds anyway. Well, he'll have to visit for a while. That fish just torched this spinnerbait as soon as it hit the water. He was waiting for something. He was waiting for a meal to drop out of the sky, and it did. And he lit it up. Boy, is that fun. Tell you what, that's worth waiting all night for right there. He might go 4.5. I threw that right in a corner where a lay down tree meets a rock. And when he hit it, I thought I got a piece of the tree. I thought I was going to have to go in and get my lure. Little did I know, till he jumped out of the water, that it was in his mouth. It's a good illustration of these bass being ambush predators. When they're hunting, they're usually hidden and staying completely still, and they wait till something goes by them that they want to eat, and they eat them. So that guy was sitting right way back in a corner by a rock, between a rock and a tree, and I suspected that's a good spot for a fish, so I dropped my spinnerbait right in there, and as soon as it hit the water, he just engulfed it. That's a good morning fish. That one was smaller than the last big one I got, but it felt bigger and it fought harder. I thought that was going to be a straight up donkey. Well, as much as I hate to go in, you gotta go home sometime. Stayed out all night, we warm out. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Chicken Thigh Fishing. We'll see you next time, and hopefully I'll have a partner. Makes it a little easier. We'll get out here again soon, and until next time, stay fishing, my friends.